I'm Noah Johnson. I'm 18 years old, and I graduated from Tuscaloosa Academy, and I love football.
My name is Wilson Glaze, and I plan on attending the University of Alabama in the fall.
Hey, I'm Matthew Hankins, and I graduated from Northridge High School this year, and next year I'll be attending the University of Alabama and studying engineering.
Hi, my name is Jared Worley. I graduated from Northridge High School this fall. I'll be going to Shelton State Community College. Go Bucks!
Hey, my name is Grant Atkins. I just graduated from ACA. I plan on playing baseball at Jacksonville State.
I'm Brenton Sanders. I graduated from Northridge. I'll be going to Georgia Tech next year, playing baseball.
Hey, my name is Cameron Smith, and I am a graduate of American Christian Academy, class of 2016, and I'll be going to the University of Mobile in the fall, hoping to study like film production, stuff like that, acting.
Hey, what you doing over there? Anyway, hi, I'm Harrison Armour, and I went to the greatest high school in America, or the best high school in America, Hillcrest High School. I graduated from there this year, 2016, sorry. And it was really great, and I plan to go to the best college in America now, Mississippi State University, and I'm majoring in secondary math education.
Hi, I'm Reagan McCall. I graduated from Hillcrest, and in the fall I'm going to Alabama. I plan on being a dermatologist one day, but that's way in the future.
Hello, my name is Will Larson, and I just recently graduated from Hillcrest High School, also known as the best high school in America. I plan to go to the transition to the best university in America, Mississippi State University.
Hey, if y'all don't know me, I'm Laura Lee, and I'm planning on attending Alabama in the fall, and I'm going to do marketing.
Ross Harden, 6'5", 185, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, power forward.
My name is Jordan Walker, and I'm going to college next year in Tuscaloosa.
My favorite camp memory is when we were at North Greenville my 10th grade year, and we did a sort of fantasy draft of sorts for Ultimate Frisbee. And we were by far the underdogs. I believe it was me, Wilson, Grant, Garrett Sellers, Cooper Harrington, and David Jones. And we were supposed to lose. And we ended up sweeping the whole table, winning it all, and making Jay Guy and Ross and Jonathan Shepard we just ended up, I think we beat them 7-1, and we took Team Abston all the way.
I really love camp. My favorite camp memory would be when Wade and Larson had a rap battle, and Wade was just spitting some serious bars.
My favorite church camp memory would be when me and Jordan pranked Tyler Lowe so bad that we got suspended from the rest of the whole camp.
I'd say my favorite camp memory from the past is probably getting Will Larson and Andrew Willis up on stage last year at Ridgecrest in front of all those people. It was just an interesting experience.
One of my most memorable camp moments, definitely not my favorite memory, but when we were coming back from camp one time, the AC went out on our bus, and it was actually on the senior bus, but they made a switch, and we rode the whole way back on the smoking hot bus, and everyone was dripping in sweat.
My favorite camp memory probably is when I roomed with the seniors last year. They were real accepting, and that was something really cool. Also got to experience the Justin Woodvie seniors, so that was quite interesting. So hopefully we won't have that this year at camp. No pranks, guys. No pranks.
I'd have to say my favorite camp memory would be my first time going to camp here. I'd say that was 8th grade year. That was when I got to meet everybody, all the senior guys, girls in my class. Really got to make all those friendships at camp then because I was new. I didn't know anybody except for Harrison, John Michael. That was about it. Tyler Lowe. And then second favorite memory, just have to throw in there, can't leave it out because it was the first time I threw my first ice block off the second, third story of our dorm.
My favorite camp memory, my 6th grade year at camp, we did this thing called encouragegrams, or encouragram, something like that. And it's basically right where, I think we're doing it this year, where you write down like something encouraging to someone and give it to them. And it was just really great for me, especially being a middle schooler who was unsure about himself, to get reassurance from other people as well who were, I guess, just not like supposed to give me input or invest in me that other people were who necessarily weren't expected to. So that was really cool. Those are my favorite camp memories.
My favorite camp memory is probably group time, because all day we're just with other people that we don't really know, and then at night we all get to come together and just talk about the day, and I feel like everybody gets really personal, and it's just everyone opens up, and it's cool to witness and be a part of.
I'd have to say my favorite memory was when I volunteered 2 years ago to be on the middle school bus, and at that time I got to get to know two of my best friends, Mr. Jurassic Wood and the guy that won't even say hi to me on the phone, Wade. Now, they were telling me how I didn't know anything about college football and how LSU would just smash Mississippi State that year. But of course, in that year, 2014, Mississippi State was the one that was doing the smashing to LSU, as they absolutely destroyed them at Death Valley. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. So that, I would have to say, that is by far my favorite memory.
My favorite camp memory is probably getting to come to camp last year, because I was never actually able to go due to sports.
My favorite memory from camp would have to be Trap House Larson rapping against Wade, and Wade straight spit that fire on him. Everyone went crazy. It was awesome. I'll never forget it.
Everybody in the FBC, put your hands in the air and follow me. Hey, everybody in the FBC, put your hands in the air and follow me. Hey, everybody in the FBC, put your hands in the air and follow me. Hey, I ain't afraid of your rhymes. I ain't impressed by your sound, because at the end of the day, you're only 4 feet off the ground. Rhymes for days, hip like G Glaze. Especially the rivals a pack of new glaze. Now I'm stepping back and I'm taking a bow. I'll let you some time to practice your wow.
My favorite camp memory is probably winning the 3-on-3 championship today.
Fresh memory.
The Bible verse that means the most to me is Psalms 3:6, and it says, "I will not be afraid of the many of thousands of people who have set themselves against me all around." And that means the most to me, because if you read it and really comprehend it, it literally means forget what everyone else says, forget who is saying what to you except for God. Let God be your only judge. Don't exactly be carefree, but be carefree of what others are thinking of you and how you react to that.
My favorite Bible verse, or one of the most impactful for me, is Proverbs 27:17. It says, "Iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another." And Christianity is a team sport, so my advice for the underclassmen would be to have friends based in the church and grow closer to Christ together.
My favorite Bible verse would be Revelations 22:21. "The grace of the Lord Jesus be with all. Amen." And this is my favorite verse because it kind of wraps up the whole Bible, and it just tells you that God's grace is for everyone, and it's never ending. And fun fact, it's the last verse of the Bible.
My favorite Bible verse is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understandings, and in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. It means a lot to me because it's simple but to the point. You know when you read it what you have to do, just follow the line. Don't follow your selfish reasons. Follow God's will, and it's just a good life verse.
My favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1:9. "Have I not commanded you? Be strong, courageous. Do not be discouraged. Do not be afraid. The Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." It's just sort of a reminder to me to not give up, that God will always be with you no matter where you are in life, no matter your circumstances.
My favorite Bible verse is Ephesians 6:11. Put on the full armor of God so you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Kind of just reminds you that you got to do it with God. You can't do it without Him. You can't take on the evil in the world without Him. You try to do it on your own, and you just get lost sometimes. So you got to reel yourself back in and humble yourself and be like, I can't do this on my own. So
My favorite Bible verse that means the most to me would be Colossians 2:6-7, and it says, "Therefore, as you have received Christ Jesus the Lord, walk in Him, rooted and built up in Him, and established in the faith, just as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness." And a little bit of what that means to me is, like, always stand by Jesus, walk with Him, because He's never going to let you down. Stay rooted in Him, trust in Him. Things may be going wrong. You never know what's going to happen, but He'll always be there walking with you. That's a little bit of what that means to me.
Favorite Bible verse is Romans 1:16 right now. And it's for, I'm unashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it has the power of salvation, first to the Jew and also to the Greek. It's my favorite Bible verse because it just is a great reminder to me and about like how I should live my life unashamedly for Jesus, unashamedly about Jesus. And why should I live for Jesus? It gives me the reason, because it can save people's lives. And that's really what it's about, because there's people that you encounter, that I encounter, who are not saved. And we are being so selfish if we don't share that with them. So Paul is just reminding me, and I guess the Church of Rome, that, be unashamed, because it can save someone's life, what you have inside of you. And it just really kind of stuck with me. And there's like a lot of songs about it too, and rap stuff. So
My favorite verse, the verse that means the most to me, is probably Philippians 4:13, because I have yet to find a situation that does not apply to. And like every time I read it, it just kind of refreshes me and gives me a new perspective on my situation.
I was just reading my favorite Bible verse, 2 Kings 2:23-24. Allow me to read it with you. He went up from there to Bethel, and while he was going up on the way, some small boys came out of the city and jeered at him, saying, "Go up, you bald head! Go up, you bald head!" And he turned around, and when he saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. And 2 she-bears came out of the woods and tore 42 of the boys. Now that verse is probably my favorite verse, and let me tell you why. You see, I've had some pretty, depressed days, sad days at high school. We all have those. Even in middle school, I had some of those days. But every time I seem to read that verse, I just always gotta laugh, And you know what? The Bible can bring joy to people like you and me.
My favorite Bible verse is Psalms 37:4, and it's delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And it's my favorite because it reminds me to thank God for everything that I'm blessed for, and it just makes me really joyful knowing that His plan is greater than mine.
My favorite Bible verse has got to be Psalm 23:4. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
My favorite verse is probably John 11:35. Jesus wept, because when you get called on to read a verse, it's real quick.
The advice / something I've learned from this youth ministry is to really stay strong in your faith and to make it an essential and a necessity to have friends within the youth group that will keep you accountable.
My advice for the younger classmen would be to branch out in their friend groups by going to different schools or befriending people with different personalities than them, because it makes you a more well-rounded person. And this is something that I'm actually taking with me from the youth ministry, because I learned this myself through befriending people from places like TA and ACA.
What to take away from the youth ministry is just enjoy your time here. You don't know what you have until you're gone. It's kind of a bittersweet thought. Just enjoy your friend groups that you have. Some of them will go away for college, some of them will stay. Just value what you have in the moment. Keep your friends close.
My advice to the underclassmen would be to just stay involved, even when you may not get along with some of the people here. Thank God places people in your lives, and you can make some really great friends here if you just stay involved and committed.
My advice to the underclassmen is to stay true to yourself. I mean, do your thing. Friends will come, if you're struggling right now. When you stay true to yourself, your true friends are going to show themselves. Don't try to go out of your way to be someone you're not, to be included.
And some advice I would have to give to the underclassmen here would be reach out to some of the kids in your grade below. Try to make some new friends, someone you don't know. Introduce yourself. Coming from my standpoint, when I was new in the youth group, didn't know anybody, I would really have appreciated that, so I know the kids in the youth group would do that. They would appreciate that now if you did, and you'd make some lifelong friends for sure.
Some advice that I have for you underclassmen is that the kingdom matters. Jesus matters and people matter. Basically, two things in this life matter, and it's God and people. And so that's what should drive you. Seek the kingdom, and all the other things will be added to you, as Jesus said. So that's one of the biggest things that was for me and kind of helped me keep my mind focused on Him.
Some advice I have for underclassmen is probably not to focus too far into the future, because a lot of this year I was just focused on what's coming next, and I spent a lot of my time and energy on that instead of focusing on what was going on now. And if you do that, obviously you're not going to think about what's going on now. You're just going to miss out on a lot.
My advice for underclassmen is that you should expand your horizons. There are many issues out there in the world, and there's going to be times where you would want to visit only one college or only focus on one thing in life. But if you're able to expand your horizons, then you'll be able to discover the pleasures and joys and negatives that each college, for instance, has, or solution to the problems in the world that we have today.
Oh, and some advice that I have for the underclassmen is that you need to branch out and be bold and go out and do new things and make new friends and just get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
My advice to underclassmen would be just find you a group in the youth group and just stick with them through it. Hold each other accountable, keep each other in Sunday school, and just lean on each other.
As far as advice, I would say just keep going to church and just keep hanging out with your church friends, stuff like that.
One thing I've learned while in student ministry is flexibility, whether it be when God calls someone like John somewhere else and brings someone like Jody, or when you're on a mission trip, and just know to be open and always be flexible when God has a call and He has a plan.
I'd say some good advice for younger people to follow with your church friends is just find a good friend group, branch out, and grow close to them. Find a good accountability partner in that group, and just keep walking in Christ with them.
Lessons I took away from the youth group would be that I've made a lot of great friends here, and that this is the importance of having a community of believers that can hold you accountable and you can have fun with.
And one thing I'm going to take with me to college definitely is that stick to your beliefs. I'm going to a school it's pretty diverse, so I'm excited to try and share the gospel through that and stay to my beliefs and not going to let anyone try to change me.
One thing that I could take away from my time here at First Baptist in the youth group is how to defend my faith and walking with the Lord, learning how to trust Him, so apologetics, that kind of stuff.
What I would take away from my time in student ministry is basically that Jesus is always constant and He's always the same, because especially with being a high schooler and you have emotions going all the time, and even in middle school your emotions are going and you just kind of feel a lot of weird things and your feelings are out of whack a lot more than you think, more than we're willing to admit. But Jesus, He's constant. He's always there. Like Hebrews 13:8 talks about how he's always the same all the time. And so that's just always been so reassuring to me. And Jesus is always going to be constant. And so I want to be more like him and always consistent in the way I act and the way I think, and not let my feelings overtake me, because Jesus never let that happen to him, and to always run to the rock, which is Jesus. So that's the biggest thing I would take away from the youth ministry.
One of the things I'll take away from the student ministry is probably just keeping an open mind about everything, especially when it comes to like meeting new people, because obviously you guys know by now that I moved here and I was just kind of like shut off, and then I started opening up and just meeting new friends, and I'm about to go into college where I'm going to be faced with thousands of other people I've never met before, and it's just going to come in handy if I open up and just become friends with people that I meet.
Well, what am I going to take from the FBC? Well, first of all, I'm probably going to take all this, but second of all, I'm going to be taking kind of the open relationships that I've been able to develop from 6th grade to 12th grade, and I'll always remember and cherish those and continue to have those, and I would certainly love to continue those relationships as long as I can.
All right, something that I learned from the youth group is that you make very good friendships, and some of my best friends come from the youth group, and they like keep me accountable for everything.
Something that I've learned being in the youth group is that once, it's what Ed Newton said tonight, like once you write your name in the book of life, it's there. I mean, and even though like you might struggle with your faith sometimes, like you might get in a rut, but God will always call you back, and He'll always be there for you, and He'll welcome you back with open arms. So just stay strong in your faith.
The thing I'll take most with me from the youth group will definitely be my friends. Let's go, guys.
The person that reminds me of myself the most is Baby Jack Beck. The reason is because I can just see him being fun-loving, carefree, getting along with just about everyone, even though you can get on some people's nerves and rub them the wrong way. But even in that times, you're still fun, and you remind me a lot of myself.
Someone that reminds me of me is Wade Lowry, because we're both hoopers, we're tall, handsome, and we get all the babes. So it's pretty spot on.
And the person who reminds me of myself would be Norman Crow, because of how swole we both are.
I'd say someone that reminds me a lot of myself, obviously, is Luke Hamner, Jared Jr. We look alike. We love the arts and Broadway. It's a good common ground between us. I mean, he loves his Crocs. I have my own shoe game as well.
A younger person that reminds me of me would probably be Joey Walker, because we're both smart and athletic, a little quiet, and we both know what it's like to be tortured by Jordan Walker.
The one younger guy who reminds me of myself, I would say my brother. He kind of looks like me, but you know, it's hard to look this good. But it's probably Bo Abston. He's not shy at all. I wasn't real shy when I was younger, and I always tried to hang out with the older guys, and probably got on their nerves a little bit. Bo, calm yourself a little bit. But you know, he's got his head on straight, and you know, he knows what he's going to do. So you do you, Bo.
One student that I'd have to pick out that reminds me of myself would probably be John Mark Brown. Some stuff that we're alike in, I guess we're both athletic, enjoy video games, and I've noticed from hanging out with him, he's kind of quiet when it comes to bigger groups, but then when he gets around his friends, he kind of opens up, kind of like how I do. You see the real side of him. He's a great guy. That's it.
So, a younger student who reminds me of myself, I would say it's Jordan Suttles.
Okay, well, you're really good at basketball. I think you're pretty. Will you go out with me?
Oh, it's a numbers game, man.
1, because he can ball. 2, because he can ball. And 3, he's just really cute. But that part doesn't remind me of myself. Anyway, he's just really great, kind of likes to have fun, and I just kind of see, like, I was kind of where he was, I think. And, I played basketball in middle school like he does, and I think he's going to play basketball in high school as well. And so I didn't do that, but he's a Suttles, so he's great. Shout out to you, Jordan, my main man.
I would have to say that someone that reminds me of myself is nope, definitely not. It would have to be Mr. Peyton McCall. Yeah, Mr. Peyton McCall is currently a trumpet player at Duncanville Middle School and is going to become a Hillcrest High School trumpet player someday, which I was a Hillcrest High School trombone player someday, so I mean, that's pretty cool right there. But the thing that, that reminds me a lot of him is that, especially at this age, is that, he has really grown up and matured in this past year in ways that I was very surprised to see, and quite frankly, I'm very impressed, and I feel that he has a very, very great future ahead of him.
An underclassman that reminds me most of myself is probably Cassidy Canterbury. One, because our personalities are the same when it comes to like jokes and stuff, and we'll always like look at each other and like know what we're talking about, and everyone else is just kind of awkwardly staring, but she gets me, and so that's just who I think of when I think of myself.
An underclassman that reminds me of myself is Jane Frances Armour, because she and I have like a very good, our personalities match, and we tend to like think the same and like have the same kind of jokes and that kind of thing, and just we get together. So yeah.
The underclassman that reminds me a lot of myself would be Bo Abston. He's fun, athletic, likes to gets a little high energy sometimes, but he's fun to be around, and yeah, that's who reminds me of him.
The person that reminds me most of myself, probably Wood. We think alike. Wood.
Come back.
My name's Wilson Glaze. Someone that reminds me of me would be Wade Gardner.
Oh, can we cut that?
Hi.
Yep.
Shoot.
Wait, am I saying younger class? Wait, what am I saying?
Wait, did I already do this?
No,
I haven't?
you have not.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, start. And make a lot of friends here. Crap, I don't know.
My favorite. Okay.
Make bloopers.
I don't know what I'm gonna say anymore. Hang on.
Though I walk through the. Oh gosh, we got to restart that. Okay, cut. Take two.
A student or the underclassman that reminds me most of myself.
Okay, yeah. Restate the question. You're right.
Here we go.
Stay sleazy. Cross it. Don't put that in.
Bam. Okay. My favorite Bible verse probably. Oh my God, hang on. What is it? I forgot it.
John 11:35.
My favorite Bible verse is John 11:5 because it's Sunday school. I got a good excuse for it.